Hello guys, it's your boy Anomaly from Sweden, and in today's video we are going to be looking at probably my rarest item in CSGO that I've ever had and will ever have. Now, looking at rarity isn't really easy to do in CS. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that something like a sticker is a bit less rare than, for example, a butterfly fade, because every crown foil is exactly the same like every other crown foil, but not every butterfly fade is just the same as every other butterfly fade, because there's different floats, there's different fades, basically more variables than a sticker. So is float the only thing that makes an item rare? For example, this Ursus Ruby, which is number 1 float in the world, 0.001, which I own, is that the rarest item I have because it's the world's best float? Well, not really, because float is not all that interesting. Sure, it's rare because it's the number 1 float and it is a ruby, but I wouldn't say it's the rarest skin that I have because there's so many Ursus Dopplers. And another rare item I had recently is the Karambit Emerald 0.0002, which is the second best float in the world. Now, is this the rarest item for me? No, because there's a lot of Karambit Gamma Dopplers and there's a lot of Karambit Emeralds. It just happens to have a good float. There's a lot of other skins which have much better float than this. It's just that this is number 2 for a Karambit Emerald. I also had this one recently, the Talon Case Hardened 222 Full Blue Gem. This is a very rare knife, but I wouldn't say it's the rarest one, because a Talon knife case harden is not rare at all. There's thousands of them. It's just that this pattern with the blue is quite rare, and there's 8 of them in the world. But Talon knife case hardened, if you don't account for the float or the pattern, there are thousands of. So with that said, what is the rarest item that I have? This is what the video is about. Well, first of all, I want to teach you guys something about the Dopplers. All of these are named Doppler, whether it be Huntsman Doppler, Bowie Doppler, Karambit, Bayonet, or Flip. Well, this one is actually a Gamma Doppler, so it's different. But all the regular Dopplers are the same, right? Because they're named Doppler. Well, not really. You can see this one is Ruby, Sapphire, Phase 3, another Phase 3, and a Sapphire, right? They're all different. Well, here's something very interesting that I can show you. This is a Phase 2 Karambit Doppler. This has paint index 419, which is Phase 2. Now, this is a Phase 3. This has paint index 420. So it's actually a whole different skin. It just has the same name, you know? That's how they differentiate the different phases. This next one is a Ruby. This one has paint index 415, but is still called a Doppler. And finally, we have the Sapphire, which is paint index 416, which is completely different. Now, what you may not have noticed is all of these 4 different knives have the exact same paint seed, which is 466. You see 466, 466, 466. That wouldn't have worked if it was the exact same skin. So each Doppler phase is actually technically in the code a different skin, not just a different pattern paint seed. Now, in the actual game code, you can see that a regular Doppler phase from phase 1 to phase 4 are all considered mythical. This is the rarity of the knife. Then you can see that the Ruby and the Sapphire are both considered legendary rarity, and these rarities come from Dota 2 code. That's why they're called mythical, legendary, etc. And the Black Pearl, as you can see here, has the tag Ancient. Now, Ancient is the highest rarity, and to my knowledge, it's the only knife in the whole game code that has the rarity Ancient. So, without a doubt, in the game code, a Black Pearl knife is the rarest knife you can get. And now, with that said, you might think that my rarest knife is a M9 Ruby or M9 Emerald, but it is not. The rarest knife that I've ever had, I think, and that I probably will ever have, is in fact not even this Stattrak Karambit Ruby, which there are only 75 of. That's quite a low number. No, it is the one next to it. The Stattrak Karambit Black Pearl Factory New. Now this one is extremely rare. There's 75 Stattrak Karambit rubies. There's only 73 Stattrak Karambit Sapphire Factory New, but of the Stattrak Karambit Black Pearl Factory New, there are only 14 in the whole world. And as you can see, mine isn't even that bad of a float. It's literally the 4th best. Now sure, there are 14 ones of these, but we can actually kind of remove some of them. If you don't know who this is a huge CS collector who basically is not selling any skins ever. And he owns 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So that's already 4 gone, now there's only 10. This is my friend, I don't think he will sell it at all, now we're at 9. We have Lunar, a CSGO collector who's recently bought a lot of items. He said he's gonna keep it for many years with no intentions of selling it, we're down to 8. McSkillet, well, I think that's self-explanatory. We're down to 7. And that's without me even doing research of any of these other ones. There's literally only 7 perhaps available of these and 14 in total. That is crazy. Now, if I change the search, you'll see that it says 15. That is because there is only one minimal wear Stattrak Karambit Black Pearl. And sure, technically, this is a bit rarer because there exists fewer of them. But it's kinda shit. I mean, literally, it's minimal wear. It's worse than a factory new. Sure, it's rarer, but it's way more shit. Something that's very rare and collectible shouldn't only be rare because there's few of them. So I think this is the rarest knife that I've ever owned because there's only 14 in total, not even the ones that are available. If you wanted to buy this, you kinda couldn't. I mean, not that you really would want to, because it looks kind of shit, but I mean, it's cool and it's rare. So, now that I equip it, you will see that it really doesn't look that special. It's mostly that expensive and special and wanted by people because of its rarity. It really doesn't look very good. It looks like a phase 1 on a good day. Like, it doesn't look like it warrants the price. But nonetheless, this is a very special knife. I'm very happy to have it. And yeah, I'm probably gonna sell it. And it's not really that cool looking. And I probably won't be super sad once I sell it. Because it doesn't look good. It's just cool because it's rare. Well, thank you guys for watching. Now I'm going to go sell this piece of shit knife that really shouldn't be worth the price it is. Very nice.